boys to hold the line. We gon' shoot it out in seconds, leave you posted like a vine. Bow your head down to the king, leave your roses at the shrine. We stay ready for the war, just need the king to drop the sign. Say what you running from, what you running from? I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? Say what you running from, what you running from? I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? This what you wanted, this what you wanted, huh?
What's a man or a king? Response to the saying, advancing the line, advancing the payment. You front the game and shoot what said as you claim it. It's that Xbox, spin the block, his legs live. Fast talker, no riddling, moonwalking, selling moon rock just to make dividends. You in traffic with family? That much making a portrait. Gun kick back, not grannies from porches. David on the sea, you know that it's scorching. What's a man or a king? Response to the saying, advancing the line, advancing the payment. You front the game and shoot what said as you claim it.
You already know the time, told my boys to hold the line. We gon' shoot it out in seconds, leave you posted like a vine. Bow your head down to the king, leave your roses at the shrine. We stay ready for the war, just need the king to drop the sign. Say what you running from, what you running from? I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? Say what you running from, what you running from? I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? This what you wanted, this what you wanted, huh?
What's a man or a king? Response to the saying, advancing the line, advancing the payment. You front the game and shoot what said as you claim it. It's that Xbox, spin the block, his legs live. Fast talker, no riddling, moonwalking, selling moon rock just to make dividends. You in traffic with family? That much making a portrait. Gun kick back, not grannies from porches. David on the sea, you know that it's scorching. What's a man or a king? Response to the saying, advancing the line, advancing the payment. You front the game and shoot what said as you claim it.
You already know the time, told my boys to hold the line. We gon' shoot it out in seconds, leave you posted like a vine. Bow your head down to the king, leave your roses at the shrine. We stay ready for the war, just need the king to drop the sign. Say what you running from, what you running from? I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? Say what you running from, what you running from? I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? This what you wanted, this what you wanted, huh?
Peace and blessings, and welcome back to Xbox Frontline News with your boy, the King. And on this incredible Wednesday, yeah, the kid had to go live. Now, I had to go live because a lot of dudes be coming for the throne, and y'all be thinking that I'm too big to step off this throne and step on your neck. Shout out to my man, Legendary Yobi, one of my brothers, a pillar in the community, an inspiration to all. Shout out to Enemy Within. What's good? Fool for the cause. Oh, yeah. All right, so let me tell you. Some joint went down with my PC, and me and Attic worked it out, and I had to restart my PC. And in restarting my PC, had to make sure that everything was, good. I went from the ground up, but had to do the Patreon work. So Dip Down and I knocked out the latest episode of Jujutsu Kaisen Season 1, Episode 21. It's the baseball episode. You guys should have a great time looking at that. It taught me a lesson about judging content too harshly. And I think that's one of my problems. Listen, if it's your first time finding the channel, you find your new best friend. If you love Xbox, if you love news in the industry, if you love people that actually get up off their ass and get out the door and make it happen, well then, here you are, you're home. And we have a great community and we do wonderful things here. So I drop videos normally 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And they're videos. Sometimes, and I go live on Saturdays. Sometimes I might spot go live. And I'm testing now because I don't want Saturday to show up and I'm not able to go live properly. Plus, I didn't have enough time to craft the video how I wanted to craft it. Usually I put up a nice little video with nice whatever's happening in the industry right then. We have CES happening right now. But getting back to what I was saying, I judge harshly a little bit too early. And I'm learning in this lifetime not to be as judgmental as I am. And I judged the episode of Jujutsu Kaisen. That was episode 21, like I said, the baseball episode. and I judged it too harshly. And I, after assessing the episode, it was valid. It was absolutely valid. So I know that tomorrow's season 3 starts. I'm trying to finish up season 1, then I got to go to season 2, but I got to watch a movie in between that. So dip down and eyes doing that. And I'm also going to be dropping other videos on Patreon, doing it myself, separate, because I'm able to get a lot done because my time is a lot more flexible. So understand that there's more coming. So if you are sub to Iron Lord's podcast, and I'm not talking about this Patreon here. I don't have a Patreon set up here. I have a members tier. If you want to become a member, become a member. I do lotteries and stuff like that to get members into stuff. And Frontline Gaming Streams is where we do Fight Night Fridays. So I'm going to be evolving that channel. Attic and I talked about some stuff about Frontline Gaming Streams, and it might turn into Frontline Fighting Streams. And I'm going to be doing breakdowns on characters that I actually love, like Ken and Ryu and, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, stuff like that. Give deeper dives into fighting games that I could drop videos of just about fighting games, because I really love fighting games. And I've been loving the mano-a-mano fighting games since a kid, from Karate Champ, from stuff like that. So, and Bushido Blade. So when I can do videos catered to fighting games and the love of fighting games, and then, have Fight Night Fridays attached to that, then that's going to be something that I'm going to be able to explore, because I can drop a 10, 15-minute video going in on why I hate charge-up characters. And I really do hate Blanca and E Honda. Charge-up characters like Guile. And I've never been good at them, so I can go into my disdain for those characters opposed to characters that are Twitch characters like Ken and Ryu. Legendary Intel with the $5 super chat, hashtag no PlayStation 6. On God in him, he understands the motto of the channel. Now, if this is your first time coming here and you're going to say, well, this is a console warring type of situation, you tuned into an Xbox channel. If you're looking for PlayStation praise, go to a PlayStation channel. I'm going to be real with you, right? I'm not going to praise them. And at the same time, I'm going to give Xbox smoke. Today's about Microsoft and Microsoft next moves, because there's some rumors and some stuff that we're going to talk about. Now, let me just give a shout out to the people that is in the chat. Live Supremacy, that's my dude. That was my first mod. He was my first. Live has been around with Iron Lords since damn near the very beginning. And when I was going into making people mods for the channel, I'm gonna tell you, man, spot on picking great people, bro. Stern Knitter, what's going on? Can't stay, gotta work in the morning, but shout out to Wolfenstein, New Vegas, and StarCraft Rumors. Cheers. Blessings. Food for the cause, my guy, Lycos, always there, man. That's what's up. Avatar Fish Ash tomorrow. I'm so excited. Oh, you said Avatar Fish and Ash tomorrow? What the hell is that? Crispy Bomb, that's my dude. What's good, Crispy? He won too. That's one of the winners. WTB, it's because you're bad at them that you hate them. Yo, you thought I was lying? I didn't lie to you. I told you I don't know how to use charge-up characters. Wait a second. You heard me say that, right? I'm great at fighting games. I don't see you showing up on Friday. Bring your ass in there and see if I don't put knuckles on you. Understand the message. I got Adele Blue. Legendary. Got the Adele. All right, so listen. Everybody here. we do the lottery here. All right. So in doing the lottery, and I got the lottery balls over there, and we do the lottery, and I did 6, and then I did 4. I picked 4 members after that, right? And I said, let me pick the 4 members, and I picked the 4 members, randomly, and it was probably based upon participation, right? You had Cray that whipped my ass the other time, and it was kind of crazy, but I put a joke Blu-ray in it, and it was like dinner and a movie with King, right? That was the theme of it. And I gave out free food, with factor meals. And yeah, I got more factor meals here. I gave out free meals with factor meals, and I gave out a movie. So in doing so, one of the joke movies was in Adele in concert. Now, actually, my wife actually liked it, right? She actually liked the Adele in concert type of thing, and I gave it out, and I was like, I want to know who got it. And yo, Intel. The wildest part about that is everything was random, right? I didn't know what bag it went into because everybody, I shipped it out. I shipped out everything random with the coins and everything. It was absolutely random. Yours was the absolute last one, remember, because I sent yours out last. And he got his before another dude that is waiting. That's only Hope. But the fact that it was in the last package, that's insane, bro. And I waited for you, bro. Oh, you was asking Ming. Oh, sorry, WCB Black. I suck at fighting games. I can't front. That's what's up. Yo, I play. Yo, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the layoffs, bro. We're gonna just relax, man. Stop getting ahead of the script, bro. Stop getting ahead of the script. Legendary Intel with the $5 Super Chat. Thank for the gift. Shout out to Xbox Frontline. Yo, listen. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being present. Thanks for giving me your time. Thanks. Everybody that shows up, man, thank you. Thank you for putting likes. Thank you for hyping a video. Thank you for interacting, because I interact with all comments after, like if I drop a video, I interact with you guys because it's cathartic. This thing that we are growing here is therapy, be real with you. Right? Because again, you don't want to get locked into your own train of thought. I welcome outside thoughts, outside of what I'm thinking. And I'm going to show you how I've been really right a lot of the time, more so than I'm wrong. And I'm going to show you based upon information that the industry gives you, right? Because a lot of times they don't want to source me, or they would rather somebody else. And if y'all saw just the other day on Iron Lord's podcast, we had Jez on, and Jez corroborated a majority of the stuff that I've been telling you dudes, the stuff that I've been bringing to the forefront. I got to give a shout out to Hip Hop Gamer. That's my brother. A lot of times he breaks news in the industry, and sometimes people don't want to hear that information from hip hop, and I feel for him sometimes because, again, he likes to break news. He likes to be the person that breaks the news. Me personally, I just like to bring you the information. I don't care about breaking the news. I don't care about being first. I just care about being as accurate as I possibly can and then giving you that information. But, hip hop breaks news because he's there. He's at the forefront of a lot of this stuff, and he doesn't get the credit for it. And a lot of times it's other people that come and snatch that credit and go forth. And I understand. And I don't want to believe that there's other reasons why. But, Jez was on and we talked about some stuff. We talked about the future of what Xbox is and what Xbox is going to do. And we all know what the operating system is. We all know if we have an Xbox ROG Ally X or Xbox ROG Ally, we know what the operating system is. The workaround. I dropped a video the other day talking about Grand Theft Auto 6. And I told you dudes, so in information sharing and gathering, it's a huge part of how we do business in the industry, right? You have information, I have information based upon our sources, and we see if that information matches up. A lot of times information could be absolutely off, and we pair that up with a couple of other sources to get down to the right part. That's kind of how Jason Schreier does it. Jason Schreier does boots on the ground. He's out there and he's working, and I appreciate the work that he does do. Now, he does that stuff for Bloomberg, and that's cool. He went to school for all that. I didn't go to school for journalism. So everything I'm doing, I'm learning on the fly, and I'm learning to be a little bit more accurate with my stuff and giving you the idea if it's an idea. Now, the information I did have was that Xbox was going to purchase these chiplets, right? And not just chiplets, chipsets. Now, I'm going to share this with you based off of this this here. All right, so Microsoft Xbox is reportedly ordering 50 million AMD chips for its next generation console, codenamed Magnus, aimed at significant market success. Aiming for significant market success with the hybrid standard models, a large jump from the current Series X and S sales, leveraging a long-term AMD partnership for advanced AI infusing gaming silicon to support a broader accessible gaming ecosystem. The key details is a massive chip order of 50 million chips. Figure suggests huge sales target for the upcoming hardware, potentially surpassing the 30 Series S and X units sold. They sold more than that, but we're going to stick with 30. The next gen hardware, the order is for Xbox Magnus, expected to be included in at least 2 models: a standard console and a hybrid console portable. A strategic AMD partnership. Microsoft has a multi-year deal with AMD, a co-engineered custom silicon for future Xbox devices, focusing on next-generation graphics and AI. Beyond the console, the chip order supports Xbox's broader strategy to deliver games across consoles, handhelds, PCs, clouds, making gaming accessible anywhere, notes the Reddit users and Yahoo Finance. Now, this is the context of the piece. The large investment signals Microsoft's confidence in the future hardware despite facing strong competition from PlayStation and Nintendo, as highlighted in CNBC News. The move follows a significant price increase for Game Pass and strategic focus on expanding Game Pass ecosystem, notes Tom Hardware. Now, those are the sources, right? Those are the ideas of where Microsoft is going with the next generation of console. The next generation of console is going to be a hybrid. We know this as much, right? Hold on. We're going to get into that. I'm grabbing all the stuff. All right. So we know that it's a hybrid. Now, the video that I put out yesterday is knowing that it's going to be a hybrid. In talking with Jez and gathering information from him, they're going to have either a physical chip or emulation of the Xbox Series consoles on, well, the Series X, not the Series S. All right, so that Series S will be phased out. That whole bottom line of having a lower SKU console that will target the Series S specs, that's out. You will have a Series X spec target, and anything else will probably be targeting the Xbox ROG Ally, right, as the lowest SKU device. Hold on, let me read this real quick. Legendary Intel with the $5 super chat. Since Black Ops 6, they've been quiet. 2025 was legendary. 2026, we go beyond. Hashtag no PlayStation 6 ultimate card holder. Blessings. Facts. All right. So, in knowing that, now they're going to have a device that day one, and this is the only device, because if you pick up a Steam machine, the Steam machine won't be able to play Grand Theft Auto day one, right? So, a lot of the titles that are prevalent in the Windows ecosystem that play on Xbox, if the Steam machine is the nearest competitor, or the competitor that is going to release this year that is going head to head with the Xbox device, well, it's going to be missing a major bullet in its chamber. That major bullet is Grand Theft Auto 6. Now, the Xbox device will be costlier, way more costly than the Steam machine, in my opinion, especially if they do the route in which Jez pointed out and I pointed out. If they actually have a chipset that is a series console in the device. Now, remember when the PlayStation 2 and the PlayStation 3 came out and they had actual PlayStation 1 hardware in the PlayStation 2 and actual PlayStation 1 and 2 hardware in the PlayStation 3, along with the PlayStation 3 hardware, the first early on ones that cost $600-700. That was a pretty penny back then. premium, costly. If Xbox decides that the premium version of the machine has an Xbox Series chip in it, that means full back compat, full compatibility with every Xbox Series game out the box. By default, day one, Grand Theft Auto plays there. Right? Now, you won't have a bump in resolution. You won't have a bump in frames. You won't have all of that extra had it just been released on PC, where it'd be able to take advantage of a big, robust PC interface. You just won't have that, right? But at the same time, you have access to your Steam library, your Epic library, your GOG library. Everybody forgets GOG. I don't forget GOG. Your PlayStation games that are on Steam, and your Xbox full library. That's the biggest scare that a lot of us are having. Does this device actually support my library? And with all indications of what we're seeing so far, very early on in the year, that is a category yes, right? So with Sarah Bond coming out saying that the Xbox is future-proofing your library while retaining back compat, they're looking back and forward simultaneously while giving you current hardware, then hey, I think we're in a good place, right? Now, financially, this thing is going to cost a pretty penny. I'm not even going to hold you. The numbers that I'm hearing, I don't like. Right? I gave y'all the number that I thought $14.99. If I'm hearing anything different, I don't like it. Right? And we got to start looking at price to value. Right? Does it reach what I want? Is it what I'm asking for? Now, I know a lot of people is going to say, well, I don't understand if a Series X console is inside the next Xbox, how is that next gen? Well, you're not looking at the other parts that's inside the device that goes and builds up on the PC aspect of it. You're just looking at the console. How can it be a hybrid? And see, and this is where I beg to differ with a lot of guys on Twitter. Yeah. Maybe Microsoft has used software to emulate certain things in the past, right? And software emulation is smart. But if you're going to use a PC hybrid, then you got to say, what makes this the hybrid part? What part of this is console? Don't tell me the form factor, because then that's just a mini PC. You got to start using logic when it comes to this, because when the people that are in power start to use words, these words matter. Words like hybrid means that there are two that are merged into one. So it's not just a PC and it's not just a console. It's a hybrid device that gives you the best of both worlds in order to achieve what they're saying. Now, yeah, it's going to be a boutique item. Just like the Xbox ROG Ally X is a boutique item, just like the Meta Quest Xbox VR is a boutique item. These items weren't meant to sell in the numbers that everybody think. Now, you're going to say, King, that's contrary to what you're saying with this 50 million chips, right? The 50 million chips is going to be, and this is just my opinion, if you have this stockpile of chips, right? And back in the days, Nintendo did this. This is the reason why, if you have enough history, you can go back and check it. Nintendo, you had to buy the ROMs from Nintendo. This is how Nintendo cornered the market. This is how Nintendo became big bully. You had to buy the ROMs from Nintendo. That's how you got the official seal of Nintendo. And Nintendo would sell third parties the ROMs, and then they would be able to manufacture the games and put the games out with the seal of approval from Nintendo. Now, I believe that Microsoft and Xbox will adopt this same strategy. When it comes to the chipset, if you want to be a partner in providing hardware for the populace, for the masses, for us, the consumers, then you must be in that program. I know ASUS is in that program. If anybody's seen this last CES, and my video coming tomorrow is going to show and point out all of this stuff. If you looked at it, you saw in the corner, it said Xbox Game Pass on stuff that had nothing to do with gaming. They were talking about screens. They were talking about capture devices. They were talking about many different things, and it had nothing to do with gaming, but it had gaming sensibilities with PC. But Xbox Game Pass was in the corner. And it's part and parcel to their strategic partnership that they have. And Microsoft will leverage their pipeline in getting these devices to you. So, ASUS is one. I'm willing to bet dollars to donuts that MSI is the next, HP is the next, and the last one is yet to be named. Pretty much, I think I know who it is. I'm not pretty sure of it yet, but I know that Intel is working with MSI, and they do have something like the Panther and all that other stuff coming out. But news will drop as things go forward. But another thing that we talked about that wasn't highlighted enough was the Xbox hardware reported to set to arrive in 2026. And this is brought to you by Fraser Gilbert. And he did this 5 hours ago, and this was on Pure Xbox. Now, I told you before that they were working on the Elite 3. If you listen to the last video, I said the hardware will reach you, and so will the Elite 3. The Elite controller, version 3. Now, a lot of times I drop out words, and I assume that you understand what I'm talking about when I say the Elite 3. I apologize if you're just trying to catch up to speed with my vernacular. The Elite controller, the Elite 3 controller, is in production. It's in development, and production is probably right around the corner. But a lot of parts to this device is going to be able to be Wi-Fi connected, and all the stuff that we had wrong with it, because y'all know that the rubbers lift up at the bottom. Well, that was my main problem with the first one. Never brought the second one. I didn't care to invest that level of money into it, especially when Best Buy stopped backing the products based upon the return rate. I would return one at least once a month and get another one based upon the rubber lifting up at the bottom. And I got a couple in there now. I got the Halo one, I got another black one, and I got another one that I just keep. And I hardly ever use them because of the problems that they, suffer from. But they're talking about this is on the way. You're not going to have that device, that controller, without having actual hardware, right? Actual hardware is going to be the rule of the day. Now, yeah, I'm still suffering with this cold. I know a lot of you have this cold too. And being down here in this basement, if I don't have the boiler on, see, the boiler heats the whole house. If I have the boiler on, the boiler actually makes too much noise for me, and I don't need it bleeding into the microphone. So I actually turn the boiler off while I'm down here. And if anybody lives in a house, you know that the basement gets a little bit chilly. So you'll see me rock, whatchamacallit, and I'm a bald head dude. So rock that hat. Shout out to my man Dirk. He's a bald head dude too. Let me see. Let me read some of this chat. Let me read what y'all talking about in here. Lenovo. All right, so you're gonna go with what Jez said with Lenovo. Lenovo seems to always have their fingers and hands in something. That's quite possibly. And that probably quite possibly will be the cheapest device out of all of the four. Now, the biggest point of contention that you've seen me and Cog have is Cog believes that Microsoft themselves will manufacture a device. I always believe in past history dictates future actions. They were making a handheld. You don't remember Xbox making a handheld, and we was listening to it all the time, and I forgot the name of the handheld. I really didn't care. The code name for it, because they don't ever use those damn code names. They be having dope ass code names. But they teamed up with what up, Be Nice? They teamed up with ASUS and put out the Xbox ROG Ally. Now, I knew they were working with ASUS because of a lot of things that were happening when the first ROG came out. We were at the event and Xbox was there. King the Mag said Monday Microsoft has missed some deadlines on Magnus process. Do you know anything? I don't lean into anybody else's I'm not a leaker. All right? So if Mag feels that he has information, good on Mag. I'm not a leaker. They, as far as I know, everything is good. All right, so I'm not Nate the Hate. If I'm telling you anything, I'm telling you based upon real feet on the ground and taking sources and giving you a clear view of what and how I see things. So I don't know. Yo, what up, Big Bad Mo? Yeah, I'm live. Yo, Mo, you got your package, right? Let me know that if you got your package. Pause. And did you post it? I don't know if you're on Twitter, but post it so I can retweet that. I want everybody that got their gifts to post so I can retweet. But what I was saying Lenovo, and I got better have Hall effect features for the thumbsticks. Yeah, I believe they will. Fortnite, South Park, Call of Duty, Fallout crossover. That's what's up. Much appreciated. Yo, you don't have Twitter. You got it. All right, cool. Yeah, okay, cool. As long as you got it. All right. Post it in Discord. I'll screenshot it and I'll post that, showing that you got that. Oh, what's my Instagram? I think it's the real king. Hold on. Let me look at my Instagram real quick. My Instagram is whatchamacallit anyway. It's the THA Real King David OTW. THA Real King David OTW. Yo, I know she stole your patch for the Stranger Things. Yo, do you know okay, so when I go to these events, I make sure that I get enough stuff. And being that my daughters are in college and my son doesn't really care for this stuff, I get a boatload of stuff. I have a ton of coins and stuff, and I'm not going to keep everything to myself. I want to give it out to the community. So what I said is, if you're a member and we do these lotteries, if anybody sees, this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. I do the lottery with this. You pick a number for members. I roll it around, pick the ball out, and we get the winners that way. And then I mail it out. I ship it out to you, and you get it. You get coins and stuff. And it's if anybody can tell you, see in the pictures, the coins look nice. In your hands, Dip Down was good. Those coins are crazy. Dip Down can tell you, the coins are way different when you have them in your hand than when you see them. When you see stuff, it's crazy. But Microsoft splitting up the chips when let's say ASUS comes and ASUS says I got back to my train of thought. Predictive nature of past actions. They had a controller, handheld that they were making. When they partnered with ASUS, they bypassed that controller and they said they put that controller on the shelf. Remember, when they put that controller on the shelf, I I don't think they ever go back to an Xbox made handheld controller. I don't think so ever. I kept saying controller. I'm in handheld. A legendary Intel $5 super chat. Check your Xbox DM on Discord. I got a Stranger Things patch. Laugh out loud. Them coins is heavy. Blessings. I got you. I'm gonna get that screenshot that and put that up for everybody because a lot of people don't mess with Twitter. So, in knowing that, they can easily say, I'm not going to, based off of the success of the Xbox ROG and Xbox ROG Ally X, based off of that success, they can ditch their own manufactured device. That let me know where they were. They're on the path of, we make so much money with software. We need to continue to make software. Let those hardware manufacturers do that. Let them do that. Let our partners who have established the pipeline, who have these business deals and stuff like that, do that while we work closely with them. But they can buy what our specs are from us, and they can add to any device, but they will have that seal of Xbox approval. That's how I see it going. And that's where fundamentally COG and I come into play, because COG believes that they're going to make hardware. Let me tell you something. When you got an official Nintendo cartridge, and this is why they had the problem with Tengen, Tengen, it was Tengen, and with them, because they bypassed Nintendo's seal of approval, and they took them to court. Nintendo don't play. When they sell you the chips, that's an Xbox. So the way that they champion VR with the MetaQuest 3 Xbox edition, the way they champion the Xbox ROG Ally X, leaves me to believe that they will champion those devices in that manner. I will happily be humbly wrong if that comes out, but past actions dictate future actions. If you've done it in the past, I believe your ass will do it in the future. But let's get to some of this AI stuff. Now, I know you guys are going to sit there, and the PlayStation guys that are here, like, I want to hear what Microsoft is up to, King, because what you're talking about, you're not talking about the layoffs, man. Shut up and allow me to do me. We're going to talk about how we're going to talk about it, how I want to talk about it. If you want a PlayStation channel, go to there. But this news I brought to you the other day with Sony AI patent will see PlayStation games play themselves when players are stuck. This isn't new. This isn't new for PlayStation. This isn't new for Xbox. Now, I put out the post the other day, and I was just, joking around with it. And, King Thrash talked about it, something he said about it. And, I just answered it with both of them is going to be doing it. Xbox and PlayStation. But they're doing it right now. See, PlayStation has those little cards that you're able to pull up if you get stuck in an area, and you're able to see the video of it. And King Henry 9, welcome to Soldier V rank. I salute you, Soldier. And knowing who they are, both of them, there's money to be made in that, right? Because it keeps you from disengaging from your seat. You don't have to pull up your phone to check a YouTube video. You just hit the card app on the card feature on the PlayStation, and you can pull up a video and showing you how to do things. Well, what PlayStation realized is that a lot of times people see the video, go back and can't do it. So the metrics dictates that they have to find a different way. Now, a lot of times if you're playing games that have, like say racing games, that has a ghost of how your boy plays, and you can see how they take the track in a racing game, and you see that ghost move, and you can follow it and kind of get past the board. Well, this is like that. Xbox has taken it a step further. Inside your Xbox ROG Ally, and inside if you're playing on your PC, and if you're in the Insider program, you have Copilot. Copilot is your new sidekick, it's your buddy. You talk to it like you talk to Alexa. You talk to it in a manner that, yo, I'm stuck here, I need some help. Well, they're both are going to be taking that same idea and giving different solutions to come up to the answer. As a gamer that had to go to Game Facts, had to get primer strategy guides, that had to get better, had to get good. How do I feel about it? For me, it's not a feature that is going to work well with me because I don't use the feature on my PlayStation. It's a feature that I don't use on my Xbox. It's a feature that I don't use on my PC, and it's just a feature that I don't use on my ROG. But that's not saying that there's not opening the doors for gamers of all walks of life that's intended for. What is it? Damn good. 75-25. Sorry, King. No $1,500 console for me. No, sir. No buying. My Series X will last me for a while. And you're happy with that, and that's cool. They understand that a lot of people don't jump to the next gen regardless. All right. Shout out to the PlayStation 4 that has held back this whole generation based upon the large numbers that it did sell in and the corporate greed that wanted to continue to mine them for cash and resources. So again, you don't jump over. That's just a you thing. But that AI represented in both consoles is going to be a huge factor going to the next gen. That Copilot is going to be de facto in your device. They're putting Copilot everywhere. They got rid of Katana and they are full-fledged going with Copilot. And the reasons why they ditched Cortana was based upon the limited knowledge of other people knowing what a Cortana is. But if you ask somebody what a Copilot is, they understand that. So it's just getting outside of who we are and knowing where they want to go and who they want Xbox to be. Remember, Microsoft is a software company and they will continue to do so and be so. And I understand that. PlayStation is an innovation company. That's why, with the lenses, with disk drives, the Discman and stuff like that. I come from that Sony when they were at the top end of TVs and all that, and them breaking into video games. I come from that Sony. They were innovative in that aspect. Blu-ray, so on, not saying, and to the much extent, they have fell back from being innovators, more of imitators and perpetrators, if you ask me, at the moment. So again, what they're doing is they're doing it. They like the Temu version of whatever Amazon is. Xbox is Amazon, PlayStation is Temu, and that's pretty much how I view them. Right now, they do put out some good games when they do get a chance to put out games. Legendary Intel with the $5 super chat. Remember, $19.99 for a service with Ultimate for 24 months. Microsoft can sell you a premium device like an iPhone. Yo, you remember when they were doing that whole, if you have like a cable solution, you like whatever your cable provider was, they will give you an Xbox and then you would like pay it off monthly. Due to COVID, and you asked me this before, what happened to that? Due to COVID, everybody's credit score tanked. You don't see the rise of the credit repair and all that other stuff and how to get something removed off your credit because you weren't able to pay a lot of your bills regardless, right? So now, in seeing that a lot of people weren't qualified for the Xbox Black card. If you happen to get one, or the PlayStation card. That's why PlayStation ended their thing with the rewards and all that other stuff. Credit isn't where it needs to be. That's why the current administration is talking about abolishing those 3 credit union things, the credit bureaus, because they feel that they are discriminatory towards individuals. They're using whatever words that they need to use in order to abolish that, in order to get people deeper in debt. Because let's say you have a low credit score. Well, then you're not eligible for a credit card. Therefore, you can't get deeper into debt, and you find other ways to maneuver. You just don't purchase. Well, that's not what they want to hear. They want you to get as much debt as possible. That's why they push debt on college kids. You'd rather get a 9070 Xi than a Pro. Cool. I didn't even bother to buy the PlayStation 5 Pro at $650. It's not even remotely worth it, and I easily could have. No, sir. Well, I brought a PlayStation 5 Pro, got rid of my PlayStation 5, gave it to my son, based upon I'm addicted to technology, and that's a problem for me. Not for you, for me. Okay, so yeah, I don't care to talk about what this guy at Pure Xbox is saying, because I pretty much know what they're going to show at that show. Let me see. Let's get rid of that. All right. Here we go. The big well, you know what? Before we get to the big thing, one of the reports coming out right now is that the next Xbox will reportedly feature full-bore Windows. A report about the next Xbox has surfaced online, and it seems that it will heavily lean into the Windows experience. We were informed last year that Windows 11 will receive a full-screen support for the Xbox app, allowing players to easily switch between desktop and Xbox full-screen experience. When playing games, it seems that Microsoft will be leveraging the same technology for the next Xbox console. The next Xbox console, only difference from a traditional PC is the ability to run Xbox One and Xbox Series X and X games. No shocker there. That's if, and this is coming from Insider Gaming. Give a shout out to Insider Gaming. If you happen to have the Insider Gaming app, I highly suggest you go to the premium section and download Lords After Dark, where myself, Lord Cognito, Lord Attic, and Lord Sovereign get together once a week, and we talk about the industry as a whole, and we talk about it candidly. So it's no Iron Lord Sunday conversation. It's a kind of different, kind of blue. If you want to know what blue humor is, look at something like Robin Williams or Richard Pryor, Red Fox. That's blue humor. You get a different take, and a lot of times, dudes call me an Xbox shill or whatever. I don't really care. But on that thing, I call it like I see it. So yeah, on Iron Lords, really much, it's fun and games, and we play games, and we try to keep it as light as possible, but keep it as informative as possible for the week. But on Lords After Dark, it's a different beast, all right? And I like it because it allows me to be a little bit more free, and I don't have to think about everything that I say before I say it, because it's an app and it's not on YouTube. You're not going to be demonetized. I can say exactly how I feel about certain things, and sometimes, how you feel about things rubs people the wrong way, and hurts a lot of feelings. But I'm not here to smooth your feelings and make you feel good about yourself. I'm here to give you the truth, and on that app is wild crazy. So if you have the Insider Gaming app, bro, you let me know on what you think about it. I think the product speaks for itself. Is it worth the pay? You tell me. And we're going to have some people on that's going to say some stuff. You never know. We might have Nate the Hate on, and I actually get a chance to really put his feet to the fire, because we do talk in the background when we go to these shows, and we do have choice words for individuals based upon things that they did that brought heat onto the industry. But talking about what's happening. Now, I told y'all last year, AI is going to absolutely decimate our industry. And people didn't understand me, and they were telling me that, King, that you're overblowing the situation. That you see AI as something hurtful while you're using AI in a beneficial nature, right? AI is meant to replace. By all intents and purposes, it's a replacement feature. It's not an enhancement. If anybody is telling you that it enhances anything that you do, that is an outlier, right? What AI did, if you tell me that AI helps you navigate, it replaced the map. So all the people that were making maps, it replaced them, right? So no longer needs to make maps. All the mills that were printing maps, all everything. If you were a map maker, it's done. Very small, very minimal. So you're going to tell me, well, the horse and buggy went through this whole idea of how AI was helpful. Boy, horse and buggy and cars. Horse and buggy and cars. If you break down a car to every component and you look at every component inside the car compared to a horse, then you say, there's a person that made the carriage, that made the horse, that has the horse. You had the horse feed and stuff like that. And good. No, well, that wasn't an individual thing. Not everybody was able to house a horse, but everybody can house a car. So the car came and it made thousands upon thousands and probably millions of jobs. Well, in one fell swoop, automation kind of half that and half asked Detroit. When they went from actual workers to automatons and then moved it out of cities, you lost jobs. Now, that wasn't too bad, right? It didn't decimate the industry, asked Detroit. It didn't decimate the industry as bad as we thought, right? Ask a steel worker, ask these individuals that depended on that, ask those families that were decimated. But it didn't hit you, so it doesn't matter. But this is going to hit you. This ain't going to miss you. Because we have integrated and allowed AI to have permeated every aspect of our circumference. This device in your hand, all phones now, or modern phones, are AI powered in some form or fashion, and we jump on it like it's white on rice. And I know you're going to say, King, get to it. And I'm going to get to it. I'm going to get to some things. Now, some stuff came to me, and I want to tell you, if you work for GameStop, my condolences go out to you. They are cutting a third of their workforce. They're closing a third of their stores. They have 2,000 stores, 2,000 plus. They're cutting 600 stores immediately. The information is going to come out in the next couple of days. I'm not breaking any news. This is stuff that is in the background, and they're curating it to speak to you differently and speak to you in a way that is more palatable for people. This is all due to a lot of things. The digital infrastructure on how video games is going. That it's not necessary. People are getting their video games and stuff to their house. They try to turn GameStop into a boutique type of situation. But I'm talking about our point and purchase. Let me explain to you, as gamers, traditionally standing outside for the midnight launch, that's dead. We had a good resurgence with the Switch 2 that people were standing outside, and it warmed my heart. But I believe that's the last time. I don't believe we see that again. And if anybody did participate in that, take that moment with you. Because with evidence like this, AI costs increase allegedly behind Microsoft rumored new massive rounds of job cuts. This is brought to you by Alesso Palumbo, and that's today. An update, Microsoft Communications Frank Shaw commented on the original rumor as being 100% made up and speculative and wrong. Here's hoping there will be no layoffs, of course. The original story, a new rumor suggests Microsoft is preparing to use its layoff axe once again for the fourth consecutive January, cutting 11 to 22,000 jobs across various divisions, including Xbox, because of the rising cost of the AI investment. If the figures are confirmed, it would be the biggest layoffs round yet. What's the first thing you do? What up, Talos? What's the first thing you do when you're lying about something? You know, kids. Oh, it wasn't me. I didn't do that. Immediately you come out to debunk whatever it is and you don't admit it, right? Immediately, right? Where there's smoke, there's fire. Now, I've heard this before. I heard early on that Xbox is having layoffs. They're not the only ones. I told you 2026 is going to be an absolute bloodbath, with 2027 being the final boss. What AI is meant to do, AI is meant to replace and not meant to enhance. If you can take an agent, they call them agents, an AI agent, right? And see, what y'all confuse Chat GPT and then those little Sora and all that stupid shit that y'all playing around with, y'all confuse that with the real agenda. That's stuff to keep you occupied. You know, when your moms and them tell you, man, get a bowl of cereal, sit down, watch your cartoons in the morning, they were doing whatever they were doing inside the room. You had no idea, right? I'm telling you, stuff is going on without our knowledge, and they're keeping us occupied with the passive AI. What up, Eternal? The real Eternal, shout out to you. They're keeping us busy with this, the BS AI. You know, the Chat GPT, you think you're doing something. Once Trump is out of office, watch the economy get better. King Corey, I'm not even going to get into that aspect of it. I'm not a political channel. Yo, One Pump Man was good. I'm not going to get into that, but I have, if you want to hear stuff like that, go to Lords of Gaming. Lords After Dark. I keep thinking of lordsofgaming.net. Shout out to them. If you look at the agents, right, the agents are made to take up slots of people's jobs. So let's say you have one agent that's able to do the work of 1,000 people, right? Let's say you one. So they purchase this package of agents, right? Let's say they purchase 50,000 of them or 50 of them. Let's say they purchase 50 of them. 50 agents go to them. Let's say they're paying something like $2,000 an agent monthly. If you're looking at what the agent is meant to replace, healthcare, wages, time off, all that other shit, that agent is a steal at that price. Companies will buy those agents to do the job that you're doing. Now, if you're outputting, this is why they put you on a metric system on how you output at work from like a 75% is the lowest baseline, and then I think you get fired after that. But if you're working in the upper percentile of 86% and better, then those that's in the 90s are pretty much our keepers, right? And pretty much the last to go. They'll probably try to figure a way to place you in the company because you're an asset instead of a get along, right? So these agents come in and these agents do your job. Now, the reason why I'm attacking Microsoft in this manner is because it's a mandate that all workers use Copilot. You must have your AI agent watching what you do, and you must engage with this AI agent as you're working. So if you're coding, if you're compiling, if you're working in some form of fashion, you're doing this and it's learning how you solve problems, how you work, right? So your AI buddy is learning how you work. It's like training your replacement. If you're about to retire and they bring in somebody and they say, yo, King, teach him everything you know. And you teaching this person everything that you know before you retire. But see, this is a forced retirement. You're training them because there's a penalty if you don't use it. You must use it a certain amount of hours in a day. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because I can, talk about it. I can verify, I can back it up. I'm not saying that every other company is doing this. I'm saying that the company that I do know is doing it is this company. AI at this point, I can create a sample Fortnite island in Unreal with a text prompt and describing it. Yes, but that's the lowest. That's you're looking at the dog and pony show. I'm giving you what the true agenda is, the replacement. You see, the breakdown of it is you being locked in your home for that period of time. They wanted to see what's the baseline of the economy and how they can move along. And they found the baseline. Now, replicating your work, where had you working from home, all of this stuff is a strategic plan in how AI is factored. Y'all didn't hear about OpenAI before the COVID stuff. You didn't hear about Anthropic and all these other, what is that? The Chinese one. I forgot the Chinese one at the moment. I forgot it at the moment, but trust me, I do know it. And all of these AI models that they're working with and they're using are to replicate you, right? To get you to, and I know the end game sounds like, and I'm not saying that Terminators are going to pop up and going to off you and all that other stuff. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that it is meant to replace. The same way that Uber drivers can look over at a Waymo, you train the Waymo on your Uber app by driving. And they got to the point now that they can manufacture these cars and they are autonomous cars and they're moving and they will replace you when they can put enough in the streets and take you out of circulation. The human factor is being diminished. So if I'm telling you that I believe that they're going to have more layoffs based upon them telling them that they needed to use this AI in order to work, well, yeah, that's believable. Do I see an end game for this industry? I see the rise in prices that's pricing us out. I see them using AI in video games more and more. You had somebody come out, a company come out and said that they're trying to make the first AI completely made game that didn't have any human interaction in it. Our industry and our world is changing in a manner that is not conducive to our growth. Somebody teased me because I said Wale and Wale, and we can just have examples. It's in our lives if we choose to look. If something is making you weaker, we're not strong. We used to have a lot of physical fitness, a lot of things. We used to have interactive video games. We were interacting with our games, right? We had to get up to go get a primer strategy guide to look and do, to interact, to figure it out before the strategy guide. But that guy that made that strategy guide had to do it and figure it out, put it in a strategy guide, right? Write it all up. Send it over to the what's that? Jesus. Send it over to the editor. The editor gets it, sends it over to printing. They print it up, push it out, sell it. Right? It was a process. You purchased it based upon you being stuck in a game, or you went to GameFAQs when the web was up and you printed it out and you went and you printed it out. And you did these things, but it removed you to get up and moving. Now they're removing that. I just played the Final Fantasy VII demo. I finished it literally in 15 minutes. I skipped every cutscene because I've done it already, right? I skipped every cutscene. I put it on super easy where I was super powerful that it didn't take me anything. And I breezed through it like it didn't matter. And I sat back and I looked at my wife and I said, it's happened. They gave a participation trophy to gaming. You don't remember before it used to be first, second, and third? It started off as the only one winner. Then it came first, second, and third. Gold, silver, and bronze. But then I remember it was a switch with my kids in school, and they were like at track and they were running. And all the kids ran out, and then he started giving out, everybody got a participation trophy. And they said, there's no winners, we're all winners. And it kind of cut the competitive edge. And I'm seeing slowly they're dulling our competitive edge. Do I believe that they're going to have layoffs? Yes. Do I believe that they're going to be massive? Yes. Do I believe that they're only one? No. Do I believe that they're the ones that are going to get the most flack for it? Yeah, because there's people that have a hate for Microsoft. And by proxy, Xbox is going to take the brunt of that. Like the last time, there was a bunch of layoffs at Microsoft and not so many layoffs at Xbox. But apparently Xbox is the one that was firing everybody. This is industry-wide. They're not the only ones using AI. And it's a problem that is going to permeate everything that we do. But I needed to go live today because my computer that I lean heavily upon, I had to reset it. And I didn't want to just rush no video and put out no video that didn't have any heart and soul attached to it. Because I believe seriously in putting your all into something. For however long we're able to do this. Because I see AI influencers on YouTube right now. It's kind of crazy that we have come to this. But that whole Sony is, now that Sony is doing AI slop is good. I mean, it was a good joke that I put out. It was cool. But they're all doing it. To what end? To cutting creativity from the indie? To stealing ideas from indies? Because I can tell you stories about indie developers that had their ideas stolen. So, whose birthday is it? Trey Bone 408_4. I salute you, soldier. Happy birthday. Happy born day. You made it another. I don't even believe in that. The sun shined on you on your day that God gave you the glory and put the divine spark in you. So I salute you, soldier. God bless. But this is Xbox Frontline News, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to get upstairs and I'm going to play me some the demo of Dragon Quest VII Remastered. I love Blue Dragon, and if I can't get me a Blue Dragon right now, well, then I got to wait, and I got to play this. But hearing a lot of the industry vets are leaving positions and leaving jobs and quitting, knowing that I won't get certain games, well, then I got to love the games that I have. And for right now, I'm going to live and revel in the fact that right now we still have some form of moniker of control when it comes to our gaming. We get to choose whether we want something or not at this moment, because it's going to be a moment we don't get a chance to choose. I choose Xbox. Even though I don't like Microsoft, I get a chance to choose Xbox. But this is Xbox Frontline News with your boy, the King. If you find anything that you like here, please take my invitation, become a sub. And if you want to further support, become a member. But I want you to do what I always do, that I ask you to do a lot. I want you to go with game is game and win is win. And I want you to try to play the Game Pass. But let's get back to that intro, because I got the best intro in the business.
What's a man or a king? What's to the saying? Advancing the line, advancing the payment. You front the game and shoot what said as you claim it. It's that Xbox. Spin the block, his legs slide. Fast talking, no riddling. Moonwalking, selling moon rock just to make dividends. You in traffic with family? That much make it a portrait. Gun kick back, knock grannies from porches. David on the scene, you know that it's scorching. What's a man or a king? What's to the saying? Advancing the line, advancing the payment. You front the game and shoot what said as you claim it.
You already know the time, told my boys to hold the line. We gon' shoot it out in seconds, leave you posted like a vine. Bow your head down to the king, leave your roses at the shrine. We stay ready for the war, just need the king to drop the sign. Say what you running from, what you running from? I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? Say what you running from, what you running from? I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? This what you